Okay, let's do it.
Okay, I call this meeting to order. Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Beals?
Here.
Brazil?
Here.
Conley?
Here.
Dodrell?
Present.
Schwab?
Here. Okay, approval of agenda. So we'd like to make a change, and we would like to put the executive session as the first item under old business. Are there any other suggested changes?
I would like to add an approval for partnering with Lexi's Little Ones with the Early Head Start grant. And I have her copy of her contract and license and insurance.
Okay, so I would see that would be moved to new business. And it would be, we could do it as, we could pull it all the way down to number 8. Okay. And what did you say is the subject?
It's Lexi's Little Ones, and it's just approval to go ahead and partner with her as another licensed daycare provider for the Early Head Start.
So it's a contract
Yes.
approval.
Yes.
Okay, do you have copies of that contract?
Okay, Lou has a copy in his hand now.
Okay.
Well, is that a good thing, right?
It is a good thing.
Okay.
It gives us another location to put our little guys at.
Okay, so may I have a motion for those two agenda changes?
I'll make a motion to move executive session under old business.
Okay.
And the,
When all is one.
Pardon?
You want to vote?
Yes.
In the same motion?
Yes.
And then we would add item 8, the contract approval for Lexi's Little Ones in Little Park.
Okay, may I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, roll call.
Beals?
Aye.
Brazil?
Aye.
Conley?
Aye.
Dodrell?
Aye.
Schwab?
Aye.
Okay, next is public participation. If we have any presentations.
I just have to go here. This is Brandon Westhoff. Aha, Brandon Westhoff from the 2 Mile Hike Club.
Well, welcome, Brandon, and we do have a podium, but I guess it got pushed back.
It's buried.
It's
And
buried.
books.
Okay,
My name is Brandon Westhoff. I'm the current president of the 2 Mile High Club that takes care of the Cripple Creek donkeys. And I would just like to thank you guys for letting me talk today. As you know, Donkey Derby Days is happening this year. It is August 11th, 12th, and 13th. The 11th, there will be vendors setting up throughout the day, and there will be a street dance at 7 o'clock. On Saturday, we'll have concerts throughout the day, parade at 11, donkey races starting at noon, and concerts starting at 1 and going through till I believe 8 o'clock on Saturday. Salida Circus will be here. We'll be set up on the west side of town this year. We're not going to be Usually we're pocket parking up and around the corner on 67, but we've decided to stay from, we want to stay from 3rd Street and go all the way to the jail museum, so A Street. And we'll be using the rec center for a silent auction. We'll use the gazebo for concerts this year. Yeah. And Sunday will be concerts again. Lots of vendors, lots of fun, lots of stuff for kids to do this year. Yeah. And I am seeking volunteers this year. I know that there's some down by where I live in Pueblo West, there's kids that need so many volunteer hours to graduate. And I don't know if there's any way that we could work that in September so that the kids can get their volunteer hours in. I don't know what the requirement is here, sorry.
It's 30 hours.
30 hours. 30 hours. Well, they could get most of those in.
I
Yeah,
will push for that.
yeah, no, that'd be great.
You said the dates of this is August?
August 11th, 12th, and 13th.
Okay. What
So
kind
we
of,
need help from anywhere from parking attendants to picking up garbage, picking up donkey poop, all the above.
what about some of the events that are happening? Can they work those, or?
They can help organize the donkey, tell people that the donkeys are coming through. So the current route for the donkey race right now is, there's 2 proposed routes. It's either vice versa, but they're going to go from the jail museum, down Bennett Avenue to 2nd, down 2nd, back up Masonic, and back down A Street, or vice versa, one of the 2 routes. So down Bennett Avenue, it'd be nice to have volunteers down the saying, donkeys are coming through.
Get out of the way.
Get out of the way. So, yeah, so we need help in all areas.
Just want to bring up that grant thing too.
Oh, yes, also, too, the 2 Mile High Club has had grant scholarship program. We've had the scholarship program. It's not much of a program, which is going to change this year. Well, there are going to be guidelines and criteria, but we do give scholarships to kids that do help and volunteer and show a little effort in the donkeys, too. Yeah. Any other questions?
There was something, I don't remember what it was now, though. So what year is this in terms of the donkey derby?
92nd annual donkey derby.
92nd.
Yeah.
And I predict with all the publicity that has been put out, you probably have the largest attendance we've seen in 92 years.
We had a group, we've gone through a whole mix-up this year, and within 6 months, we're going to have a whole new administration with the 2 Mile High Club. In November, December, there was talk of not having donkey derby days, and we had a wonderful gal, Annie Valadez, volunteer to head the donkey derby day committee, and she's got wonderful experience and background from bull riders, running bull rider only events, hockey PR, and everything else. And she is. You haven't seen The Last of Us on the news. And that, we have an interview coming up or Fox 21's coming up Wednesday, and we're going to shoot a commercial sometime this week, too, that we're going to have aired. So it's great things. So we have enough funding to have donkey derby days, but we're always looking for more sponsorships to see if we can do a bit more for the community. Having more events. Yeah.
Do you want to mention the bench thing?
Oh, yes,
Not that
that's
you and I
right.
have talked.
No, not at all. Also, we had heard that there was some improvements going on with some sheds or something, and it came up that there may be some spare wood, or if the 2 Mile High Club would like to purchase the wood and supplies, and the school make benches, and we can put them around town or in a school or anything that you guys might need. The 2 Mile High Club is looking at expanding their community outreach from what it has been previously, which I think has been lacking, so to speak. So we need to get back to what we're for, the donkeys and the community of Cripple.
Cool, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
I just say I commend you because I know you came from very limited funding, so for you to be this successful this early, congratulations.
Thank you, appreciate
And
it.
thanks for being here.
It's taken a lot of effort, but that's what we're here for.
Yes. You're standing on a great legacy.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's amazing. Just a couple things that are coming up. May 15th, we're releasing the donkeys at noon at C and Thurlow. Ask everybody to meet there along the sidewalk. And, yeah, we'll be at various events throughout the week.
That's a Monday. At what time?
It's Monday at noon. Unfortunately, we wanted to have it, we were thinking about having it on Sunday, but Sunday was Mother's Day. So we shouldn't steal your guys' day. So,
Yeah.
anyways, any more questions? Comments?
Thank you so much for your
I
presentation.
appreciate it, thank you.
Yes. Do we have any other presentations at this time?
May I speak?
Yes.
My name is Sandy Kennedy, and I'm just coming in an effort to continue awareness of my daughter's current situation. My daughter has an anaphylactic response to lavender. Kind of weird. Kind of unusual. And so I'm just coming, I just want the board to also be aware. I realize that your governance here takes care of these things. I am just asking for any expertise or gung-ho-ness that any of you might have around service dogs and around how to manage lavender in an environment. I got feedback that my dog's been alerting too much. Okay, the sad news is that means like that's how many exposures it's been going on. So, I'm talking to everybody everywhere. And so I appreciate your time this evening. I know you have a lot of business to take care of, but if each of you could maybe dig into your communities and anything that you could bring to the table, I really greatly appreciate it. I have been well supported. We're working through this. I just needed you guys to also be aware of the severity of the situation and the challenges that we're facing. So thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you.
And how would we reach you?
I could give you my email. I'm a parent
I can
in the
get
roster.
that.
Yeah, thank you.
I can get you guys.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
Sandy Kennedy.
Yes.
Okay, thanks so much, Sandy.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone else at this time? So,
The rest of you are here for the rest of the meeting?
we got enough people up tonight. So, again, it's an honor to be in front of you and to take and serve this district. We are change agents. As you know, we've seen a lot of changes. And we have our hands on hope. And we are united in mind and purpose to serve the children and the community. And it is a great honor to do that. So thank you for coming today and for all you do to support the efforts of this district. So moving on, we have the reports. So first, Miriam.
Well, before I speak to the survey that was included in your packet, Do any members of the board have any questions for me regarding my report?
Congratulations on the grants.
Yes.
It was definitely a team effort, but yes, we're very happy that we were able to secure that additional funding.
And in particular, the Daniels, we've tracked them for a long time as a nonprofit. And so you went to the top of the line that some of us have not been able to get to.
Yeah, well,
And I have to tell you that your thought about their monies, that one of their grants equaled a little over $2 million in their 1099 report. So there is monies in Daniels. I would tell you that John Suthers, who resided here in Teller County, is the present board chairman. He is also the mayor of Colorado Springs. So you may end up having a coup in terms of those funds, and we hope you do.
yeah, it's a work in progress with them, but fingers crossed. So you all received a copy of the first round of survey respondents to our EASY grant stakeholder survey. This was sent out just to gather some initial feedback. First round solicited 69 respondents, with our students making up over half. One community member, 5 family parent caregivers, 9 staff members, non-teaching staff, 6 elementary teachers, 8 secondary teachers, for a total of 69 respondents. There were questions asked, really, about everything from feeling belonging at school, having a trusted adult, and now I understand why you all wanted this in color. Because
He speaks to it very well. You can figure it out.
Okay, yeah, off to the left, right, would be the strongly agree category. All the way to the right would be the strongly disagree. The next bracket, agree, neutral there in the middle, and then disagree and strongly disagree. So you kind of have an idea.
Yeah.
I thought it was great about the careers and job interest. We're highly aligned to what we're actually offering here in the district as far as career and technical education. But also a heavy emphasis on many wanting to get into technology fields, which, I think, and while we haven't exactly asked these kids, a lot of kids want to, I'm going to be a YouTuber, I'm going to be a, and so I think we have a few of those in the mix.
It's interesting to see how their parents didn't see it the same way.
But I'm not going to spend time going through everything because I don't know how much longer he's going to make it. I don't know how much longer I'm going to. But do you all have any questions? This survey has gone out again. It's gone out to, Dan, who all did we send this to?
Parents, families, students, all faculty district-wide, and board members.
So, and there have been quite a few more responses, and we'll likely go over that this Friday when we have our EASY team meeting. That's empowering action.
Barry, I think this is the one, like I looked back through the emails, what you were asking me for, and the only one that you got that wasn't, that you couldn't receive was the agenda from our safety day last week. This one, it said it went through your emails.
Okay, and so I did not get it, but again, the purpose of this is to take and gauge the landscape of our educational platform. And I would say with this representation, that's about 1/6 of the people who are directly connected to the school, students and staff.
Yeah.
And with without the parents or that community piece. And again, I would say for to have validity as a tool or as an instrument to gauge these things, that we probably need to move towards the 90th percentile.
And what else?
If that is possible, and if we could figure out some type of ability to do this that maybe echoed a census type of strategy or whatever, I do believe that we do need to know these questions. For me, some of the scores were quite concerning, and were for me a point of sadness. And I don't want to rest on that until I understand the demographics of the participants. And obviously, if there are changes that need to happen to, again, we're a culture of continuous improvement, then we need to get with it. But at this point, the validity of it is not even close.
And you're right, Marion, we have some ways of gathering some additional input. One will be during the carnival. We'll have this survey on tablets so that people can take it while they're there. I'll have them in the cafeteria during the spaghetti dinner and just other opportunities throughout the night. But, we can only do so much to get people to complete a survey. I am proud of our students for, making up the bulk of the respondents.
And I see the strategy of, again, going where the captive audience is. And so, the carnival, we did this when, I think, Gary, you helped with our understanding our profile for the free and reduced lunch program. And we got, I think that respondents was in the 90th percentile, which helped us greatly. And maybe the captive audience is something that we can figure out more on the secondary side. I just think that we need to be opportunistic to, really nail this down. I mean, I think they're great questions, but I don't want to rest on any of them.
And this survey, again, is driving the work with Empower Schools, with Easy for School Improvement, the grant that we received, to really help us identify what we're doing well as a school district and the areas that we need to improve upon. So.
And I can tell you that, years back, we did a survey at the two post offices, one in Victor and one in Cripple Creek, and we had a couple people who sat there and did it several days, and we got great response, and it was a great marketing tool, and it was, again, people who were known in those communities who sat there and asked the community these questions. So that's another piece that we can look at.
Anything else?
Dan, can you double check that you sent that to me, because I don't remember seeing it?
Yeah, I'll go back. I can do that.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, other reports. So we've got a plethora of them in here.
On the secondary side, it was a fairly brief report this time. If there are any questions on that, I can expand on.
I see that we got an invitation, and I should have read that to the board, to come to graduation, which is the 25th.
Yes, May 25th, Thursday at 4 to 5.
I think you all received.
Okay, and again, how many graduates do we have?
19.
19. Okay.
So I have one question. Was the student talent show advertised at all?
No, we kept that. We sent it out to parents and invited parents. But as we're bringing things back, it was fairly small. fairly low-key, organized by student government. And no, we didn't make it a very big deal. I think there were 7 or 8 acts total.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it was in the school day, not a large event,
Oh, okay.
geared for students.
But great press,
Yeah, absolutely.
yes.
And are they going to be in the Butte Talent Show coming up?
I have no idea.
Let them know.
Is the choir.
All right.
And Robert Gantz.
Okay. Okay, good.
So 2 out of the 7 acts.
7 or, yes.
will be.
Okay,
Are you in the talent show?
I am not. I am not.
Just checking. No.
Not this year.
Oh, not this year, next year?
No.
So you put it down?
Last year.
Oh, I did not miss
Yeah,
it.
it was great. I won.
yeah, first place.
Yeah, and second. I think that in terms of successes, like I listed there, super excited to see High Trails come back for the 6th grade.
Yep.
Huge success. Our 6th graders hiked out in the snowstorm.
That's crazy.
They were great. We didn't lose any of them that I know of. That's great. The all-district safety training last week I thought went very well. It's great to see everybody on the same page about things. And then being done with all of the standardized testing in a very well-organized couple weeks of testing. And we ended up with 88% of our students completing that test. And maybe 1 opt-out, maybe 2 opt-outs, which is awesome. And that a lot of that success goes to Chris. So thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Thanks.
And then on the challenges, again, always hiring for positions for next year. I'm already stressed about that.
So I thought that there were some availabilities from District 2.
There's a few. We have made some inroads through a platform called LinkedIn, and we do have a couple of those individuals who are coming up to see the school over the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
Dan, were there any aha moments during the training, the unification training?
I think that no, I don't know. I would ask Tanya maybe, being in it. I mean, I have a whole lot of notes to go through. I think that for the most part, everybody was more prepared than I thought they were coming into it.
I think it was amazing how many people were kind of scared of the radio.
Yeah. I agree with that.
It was a bit intimidating. And I think there was a lot of, they weren't sure what to expect on it, but once they were done walking through, they're like, oh, I feel so much better now.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But no, I don't think there were no big surprises, and we had a representative from the state was here. He had positive feedback on our teachers and on the faculty and all of their engagement as well. So,
Well, you saw me at the Gold Camp Cafe, and there were some teachers there, and they all said it was great training.
yeah.
They did not complain, and it wasn't about, they liked it.
Yeah.
So you did a great job.
And thank you, board, for feeding me.
Yeah. It was our pleasure. Okay. Any more questions for Dan? Okay, Tanya.
Again, it was, with spring break being one of those weeks in there, it was kind of a short, there wasn't really much in the way of a ton of data, given that we're in the middle of, we spent a lot of time testing.
Yeah, you can tell.
Thanks for the picture of the book fair.
Thanks to Gary Lou, we have a much larger book fair again because our results last year were so awesome. Gary Lou spent a lot of time at the book fair for us last year. She spent a lot of time at the book fair for us this year. And our book fair is, double the size this year, Gary Lou?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, the grandma's being tapped out on this deal.
Grandma.
I love those book fairs, and last Wednesday when they had no school and no carnival, and it was like, but
That's
Here it comes.
we put in to keep the book fair an extra week, so it will be there Wednesday night.
Yes.
You better stop in and see.
I will be there.
I gotta go.
Bells on
Okay.
and carrying fish. No, he's got mine.
Or you can just use the e-wallet. I had a parent email me at 6 o'clock one morning. Here's this one, this one, this one. I set up e-wallets for all 3 of my kids. Can you make sure they go today? Absolutely.
Okay. Other reports. Okay, Annie.
My report was also short this month, not because I wasn't doing stuff, but when I was preparing it was last Tuesday afternoon when the snow started falling about 4:30 in the afternoon, so I wrapped her up and went home. So the 2 pieces I wanted to mention, number one, the post-start apprenticeship sites, we have Bronco Billy's is almost set up, and then Sanborn Western Camps. They're going to fast track them to get set up because one of our culinary students will probably be apprenticing there on this summer. And so slowly but surely we're getting our apprenticeship sites set up. And then secondly, a few members from the Gold Camp District Impact Group will be here tomorrow presenting during advisory. This is the group that is bringing in the Thomas Stanley Troll project with the Little Grouse Trail. And so, Tanya, just so you are aware, they're looking for student volunteers, and I believe our seniors can earn. They can start earning their community service the summer prior to their senior. So another volunteer opportunity, but they're looking to also include elementary students and their parents as well. So they're going to be here tomorrow to present for that. So I think it's going to be a pretty amazing. A lot of our kids are already really excited. All they know is a big troll is coming to town, and so they're already ready to volunteer for it. So please know that they are looking for as much community involvement as possible. They're going to start building July 25th, and they should be concluding on August 5th. And so if you know anybody in the community who wants to volunteer, let me know for sure, and I'll get them connected. So.
Okay.
Cool.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Annie, can I ask you a question not related to your report? There's a young man who has dropped out of school who lives in our district and who's interested in doing his GED in welding. Can I just have him call you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can give him my cell number.
Okay. Yep. Thank you.
Okay.
Mine is kind of short too. A couple of our successes actually came in after I wrote the report, like partnering with Lexi's little ones down in Newton Park. She's super excited and she's working really hard to do everything she can to be a partner with us. And then also, we got word this weekend that we received our Buell grant money, so we'll be able to have that summer program.
Oh, you did. Great, because I know there's a big concern.
And then this week, myself, Jason, and Brandon are going to a Mid-Start convention in Denver. Brandon's going to attend the family engagement part, he's going to do the financial part, and I'll do the manager part. So by all 3 of us, we should have lots of information.
And when is that
We leave
convention?
tomorrow night, we'll be on Wednesday and Thursday.
Okay.
Great. Have fun.
Yes.
And again,
Good luck.
anything you might find too that they're handing out that might help us with this workforce childcare, we would be very appreciative.
Okay.
And we'll get you back into that loop. We're just still tracking this down and move it back into a bigger framework in terms of the project team.
Okay. Oh, and I was going to share that on last week, or right there, right before Earth Day, the preschoolers came and they picked up a bunch of trash out there on the track in the football field. I think they carried out like 3 or 4 big black bags of trash on them.
Wow.
So
Wow.
It was kind of cool. They had a lot of fun doing it. So.
Yes.
Found treasures.
Right.
Yes, yes. Scavenger hunt.
Oh, look what I found.
So don't put it in your mouth.
With this being said, you're number 8. I don't know if you want to stay that long. I don't know if the board is going to have particular questions that Tammy might not be able to answer.
Is it
the standard
It
contract
looks
is.
pretty
It's
boilerplate to
the
me.
standard contract, and I included a copy of her licensure from the state, and then also the insurance where it has the Cripple Creek School District as, so that they're covered, we are covered as well on her insurance.
I only have one question, which is probably silly, but what happens for the month that she's closed? Because it says it's only for 48 weeks.
It's usually broke out, like they'll take 2 weeks in the summer or something like that, and that's something that they have to let their parents know ahead of time so that they're able to find help
That would be my only question.
childcare.
That's what,
But most people break it up, you know, it's not all at one time.
So with that being said, if you wish, you do not need to wait. It's again up to you, but I don't want to hold you, and I know tomorrow's start time is a lot sooner than you think. Okay. Yes. Okay.
But if you guys have any other questions and Tammy's not able to answer, you can always,
We can call your phone.
yes.
Okay. That's what we could do.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Don't we
You
need the
didn't
approval?
go, did you ask her about her technology report?
No, I didn't, but I kind of figured Meryl would jump in.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, be safe. Thank you, Annie.
Thank you, guys.
Okay. Did you want to ask her any questions?
No, I just wanted to make sure we didn't overlook her.
Okay. So Meryl, did we overlook you? I don't want to
Not yet,
overlook you.
no, she's next.
Quietly sitting over here.
She's next.
Okay. So,
She's next.
okay.
She's the one that has the really cool pictures.
Okay.
Oh.
Can I say one more?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm still new to Colorado. I've lived here for 3.5 years, never thought I'd live here. It's been great. And getting into the Cripple Creek scene and town and everything, I just want to let you guys know that I am new, I am fresh, I hold no grudges. It's surprising coming into some power with the 2 Mile High Club and finding out there's people coming out of the woodwork that weren't before, and it's been great.
Yes.
And I'm new and fresh, and yeah.
So do you have your card and we can access you?
You guys all.
I have this number.
Okay.
Yeah, can I just ask you really quick,
Thank you.
when are the meetings?
Meetings are the 3rd Thursday of every month, 5 p.m. And it's usually at the common area of the Double Eagle. Huh? But we have thought about switching it up, but I'm not going to until I let everybody know. So.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Yeah, that was my question. If kids wanted to come and volunteer,
Yeah.
so they could come to a meeting and say, hey, I'd like to, or whatever. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah, Thursday.
You have to be escorted to cross gaming area though.
Well, I don't think they have to be
No.
in
How does
the
that
general
Because
common.
it's down behind the,
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
you
down.
just-
down where they're not gaming.
Oh.
There's no gaming down there.
You can go through
Ease
these.
people come
Yeah.
in through that way. But that is also another thing that we've always met at a casino, and I don't understand why. But I'm trying to rectify that with my overall plan of building a new barn within the next 3 years.
Well, in the olden days, we used to work or meet at a bar. So,
Well, I wish, you know, yeah.
Well, that's why it's lasted so long.
And I talked to Brandon and Cindy too, that when I was president, we changed it up. and met at a different place all the time, so that all the different businesses got business from it and got that exposure. And at one point in time, it served as, or Tuma High served as a chamber of commerce. And then when we figured out that it was all the same people at both meetings, it was like, well,
It's about the only,
change that.
the WO Commonary is about the only place that I've found that the club that hasn't pissed off before, so. I hate to say that, but that's, my consensus is, that's a common area, it's common ground, and, you know, yeah.
There's a lot of former members that have stepped up and with some invitations to come back in and rebuild the program. So,
Good.
I just thought I'd share that.
you're
Great,
welcome to
thank
come
you
to,
very much.
and you're
Thank
welcome
you.
to come to Parks and Recreation, but we don't serve alcohol.
Oh,
But we have a vending machine.
It's not the ultimate.
Okay, but you're more than welcome to come there.
Okay.
So, anyways, thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Brandon, I got,
And, yeah,
the question I had,
Yeah.
you said the third Thursday, what time?
5 o'clock.
5, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and you can reach us. I have my personal email on there. You can also reach out on the website. Fill out the blank, fill out the deal on the bottom of the website and get in touch with me. And my cell phone number's on the phone never shuts off, so all day or night. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
We gotta go see the donkeys now, so
Okay.
sorry.
That's okay.
Thanks, Brittany.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So, Meryl, did you have something?
Did I have something there?
Yes.
Report?
Well, do you have any questions?
Oh.
No.
No, I just didn't want to overlook you being here sitting there. So.
Oh,
That's
nice.
pretty.
I'm just sorry about all the problems you had
Oh, I know.
with the switchovers, but thank goodness for your quick thinking and being able to take
proud
matters
of
into your own
myself.
hands. I was like, you go, girl, and how much did they pay you?
Nothing.
Unbelievable. We should have credit,
Yes.
because it was very impressive that you were able to figure it out
So
yourself.
it was a real challenge, and, I liked it.
Yes.
You did well.
Young?
Yeah, keep my brain young.
This is good. We want you to stay young. Stay forever.
Yes, to you.
Yeah.
Muriel, this is an ongoing issue with those switches, is it? Because we're-
Oh, no, it's just all new. And so, they're working with, I can call them and they're right there. It's unbelievable. That never happens. So, no, I think we've got a good relationship, and I think they're really helping. I think our district's going to be state of the art.
Good, good.
Yeah.
Thanks for all your work on that.
Yes.
I'd like the picture.
So at this time, I need a motion to go into executive session. And I do need it listed who will stay for this executive session.
I would like to invite Dan Cummings and Tammy Fronts to the executive session.
Okay. So may I have a motion then to, and the language is there.
Want me to do it? Okay. I move that the Board of Education convene into an executive session to discuss CRS 24-6-402, subparagraph 4F, personnel matters, and CRS 24-6-402, 4G, consideration of documents protected by the mandatory non-disclosure provision of the Colorado Open Records Act. This time, all individuals who are not invited must vacate the boardroom and/or the virtual meeting.
And we want to include,
Not to come out of it, but as a result of the executive session.
I make a motion that the board has addressed the concerns of some personnel matters.
Okay, a second.
I'll second it.
Okay, roll call.
Fields,
Aye.
Brazil,
Aye.
Conley,
Aye.
Astle,
Aye.
Schwab,
Aye.
Okay, moving on then.
Is
Okay.
the,
The first under old business
is
is
second.
second reading of the board policy revisions. Do you want to read those?
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
Okay, so move for the second reading of the board policy revisions of JICJ, school use of cell phone and other personal technology devices, and IJMDAB, instruction through online courses.
Okay, a second, please.
I'll second it.
Okay. Roll call.
Fields,
Aye.
Brazil,
Aye.
Conley,
Aye.
Astle,
Aye.
Schwab,
Aye.
Okay, under new business, the consent agenda. Any discussion?
Oh, there's a typo here, hang on. Paragraph 6.
minutes,
Yeah, paragraph 6 of minutes, it's a usage error for THEIR to THERE.
Any other concerns? Do we have a motion then?
I'll move that we approve the consent agenda.
A second?
I'll second that.
Okay, roll call.
Fields,
Aye.
Brazil,
Aye.
Conley,
Aye.
Astle,
Aye.
Schwab,
Aye.
Okay, next is the approval of the social studies curriculum as presented by Chris Wright.
Because it's a plan.
So, thank you very much. I know last year I was in here talking about the math curriculum that we bought, and it was kind of a fly by the seat of our pants situation last year. So I was tasked this year with putting together a better way to do this when it's time to buy new curriculum. So we started earlier in the year. I put together a committee, a junior senior high committee. This is it, right here.
Thank you, thank you.
Cody Barker and Liam Mazer. And we also put together an elementary committee to take a look at what's out there for social studies. Social studies curriculums have been hard to come by. Across the street, they're working out of books from 1999. Over here, I think our newest book is 2014. So it's been, we haven't even been tested in CMAS for social studies for a while. They've been writing new standards. So we did just get new standards in Colorado for social studies. As I was looking, so my job was to go out and find curriculums to peruse and to be able to make a good decision on something that we might want to purchase. You were sent an email by Tanya that had links to all of the online pieces of the things that we looked at. We had McGraw-Hill, we had HMH, we had Savis, we also had a company called Nystrom, which is now socialstudies.com, and we took a look at it. What we're here for tonight is the junior, senior high has made a recommendation that they would like to show you tonight. If you, we've been to DAC, we've made our recommendation to DAC for just junior, senior high. Elementary is still in the process of looking, trying to decide what they would like to have. So I asked these two to come here tonight. They have a little presentation for you to kind of go over why they chose Savis as the one that we would like to recommend. So I will turn it over to these two.
So Chris, can I just,
Yeah.
the DAC committee did have a lot of questions for them. The DAC
Oh, we
committee
did.
did recommend to follow the recommendation of the committee there. So there was a lot of community questions about it. But
Which-
they did agree with the high school, junior high team.
And we will be having, we had one open meeting, and we will be having an additional open meeting for any parent that would like to come in and take a look at those, hopefully by next week. We did get a little waylaid by testing, a couple of weeks of testing and a snowstorm, because we actually did have it scheduled for last Tuesday. So there are lots of things in play. I feel like the committee has done a very good job of looking and making their decisions, so I will pass it on.
We have a PowerPoint. How do we do that in here? Okay, so good.
Pass to the board.
Oh, yeah, the boardroom
There you
TV?
go.
So just like in the classroom.
That's right.
Thank you. All right.
Just Meryl.
Meryl, thank you.
Oh, do you want me to cast it? I think you said. Is
That's
that why
okay.
you booked?
Yeah, I was like, I gave Dan a heads up, but that's okay. All right, okay. So it's back there behind you. Sorry, it's kind of awkward.
Okay. Thank you again for taking the time to listen to this little recommendation that we have. And of course, at the end, we will entertain any and all questions that you may have for us. Just to rehash it one last time, I'm Liam Mazier. I'm predominantly our school's middle school social studies teacher, though this year I'm also teaching several high school electives. I primarily teach 6th grade, 7th and 8th. 6th grade, we focus on the Western Hemisphere, 7th is Eastern, and 8th is U.S. history up to the year 1877. And then Cody Barker, who is predominantly high school. You can see where he works 10th grade world history, 11th U.S. history, the later phases. So we, after reviewing a series of published curricula from the past several years, we decided that Savas was the option we are most enthusiastic about and feel is the best fit for our students. So some of the highlights, and we'll get into the details of why in a second here. Cody, why don't you take that?
All right. So first and foremost, they are current. So as we have alluded to, the most recent book we have in this set of the suite is 2014. There are ones from earlier. We're still in the 90s on some of them, etc. So 2019 to 2023. I think we all know that a lot has happened since 2018. Pandemic, elections, etc. So it's really important to be able to talk about things with students in a current manner. All the new options all the other options we looked at were 2018 or older. So the ones we're presenting to you right now are 2019 to 2023. Honestly, they are the College Department of Education's dream. I'm currently in the CU Aspire Alternative Licensure Program, so I've had to study the standards, the new ones, in depth, this detail. Like they would love it. They're fully integrated and engaging for students, technology-wise, but not only that. Again, we're going to go into this in detail. And they're also a teacher's dream. We're going that, and so much so that after Liam and I sat through our online learning session, Liam told me he wants to stay. Like literally, like he's leaving. Like he was literally so enthralled by this. He's like, this makes me right. This makes me want to stay. So, so we'll tell you more about that. Here we go.
So just to review the revised 2022-23 social studies standards in Colorado. We have 5 standards now instead of 4. They are history, geography, economics, civics, and personal financial literacy. We'll break down what those entail in the ensuing slides. So starting with history, Colorado asks us to develop critical thinking skills, analyzing different perspectives, building inquiry in our students, and reading a variety of sources, watching as well. All with the ultimate goal of helping students to explain the human experience on a global scale. Savas does this well. When it comes to analyzing perspectives, they build primary sources into absolutely everything that they give students. Their content is organized by the topics they cover, and they have a slew of primary source materials, quotations, as well as other more complex sources available for students for all of them in all of the books that we are referring to you today. Building inquiry, Savas is its entire active student handbook, where students, write down, they participate in exercises and work with the material they've absorbed from the textbook or digital materials, All of that is based on document-based inquiry, project-based inquiry, discussion-based inquiry, which is, it's exactly what we're looking for. And perhaps most exciting for us, since we're actively trying to move more and more into a project-based learning framework for all of our classes, Savas is built with project-based learning in mind verbatim. It is one of their bedrocks for all of the materials that they design for their students to work with. And through project-based learning, they help students make modern connections through the historical content provided in the books. We also go on to geography. Geography, we know what that is, understanding how one spatial environment impacts, our perspectives and understanding how different people in different regions interact in complex ways. Savas is great for this too. Along with the primary source materials that they build into every topic students engage in, they also provide interactive materials, including maps and galleries for every topic that they cover. They give students access to quantitative data sets, including charts, graphs, tables, infographics, and with a global focus in mind. Obviously, it covers the entire scope of the world, which is what we want for our kids, since we cover both hemispheres in 6th and 7th grade, and then all of it together in high school. We also see project-based learning again because it helps, how do I put it? Project-based learning is the modus operandi through which Savas facilitates personal and global connections for students. A lot of the exercises and materials that they allow students to access and encourage students to engage in are designed so that they are making personal connections to these concepts, modern, up-to-date 2019, 2020 post concepts that are unfolding in other parts of the world, like the Far East and Oceania and Sub-Saharan Africa and all of that wonderful stuff, as well as connections between those far-off places that are very pertinent in this geopolitical arena that we're currently in. And economics. Colorado asks us to focus on such topics as resource allocation, economic decision-making. You can read the rest. It's hard to draw pinpoints here. Suffice it to say, Savas touches on all of these, doesn't touch on it, goes into great detail on all of them. It covers all of the highlights historically, things like the Columbian Exchange for resource allocation. It stresses world and American economic policies and integrates those concepts into its explanations and narratives of American and world history. It stresses the relationships, interconnections, and causes and effects tied to regional, national, and international markets, as well as exploring human, environment, and economic interaction.
So standard 4, civics. So obviously understanding the rights, rules, responsibilities of citizenship, right? Understand the different levels of government. Understand the democratic tradition. Those are the main things that Colorado is asking us to teach and have students understand in their new curriculum. I really love Savas. I focus on the secondary or the high school level, right? And so they phrase it in terms of questions. So things like, how has citizenship existed around the world under various empires, regimes, and nations? I had a great discussion on this. Why do school districts vary in their available resources? Right? Talk about the interplay between local districts and counties and states, federal level. The kids were really enthralled by that and ready to pick it for you guys. So what makes a nation a democracy, right? Basic things like that. So Savas really covers it well. The last standard, this is one that Savas definitely covers, but we're also recommending 1 or 2 books from Pearson. This specific book was mainly highlighted by Pearson. So Colorado is saying, how do we manage scarce resources? How do you save? How do you invest? How do you budget? How do you set financial goals? Pearson covers all of that really well. I kind of highlight that in the bottom 3 bullet points on the right. Savas does it as well by, again, asking questions. How did droughts and floods affect food supplies? Right? So again, thinking at a more macro level rather than like inquiry-based. Yeah. Yep.
So why Savas in particular? Well, it meets the Colorado academic standards almost verbatim. Their framework for building their curriculum this round, the 2019-2023s, it almost lines up perfectly with what Colorado has asked for as of 2022. The curricula that we looked at is comprehensive. It is extremely detailed. And it gives teachers a litany of customizable options. Teachers can still add anything that they want to create or bring from some other curriculum into this curriculum. It accommodates anything teachers want to add or change or edit or take out. It gives teachers a tremendous amount of leeway and gives them an effective way to pace their content so that students are getting the most out of the curriculum baseline that Savas provides. Project-based learning, we already mentioned, it is built into their platform. It's built into the curriculum in every content area that they cover that we looked at. They give consistent scaffolding opportunities in both the middle and the high school levels, which is amazing. And what I especially love, being sort of techie, is Savas integrates seamlessly with Google Classroom and Infinite Campus. And we'll revisit that point in a little bit, but that's definitely a major, major highlight for us, and I'm sure for Merrill.
Yeah, no new systems to learn, yes. And that'll also be familiar to parents, right? So hands-on activities via student activity journals. These are just some examples of project-based learning, competency-based learning. There are quick draws, there are closer looks, there are role models, there are walking tours. And guys, we're talking about, like, literally they have avatars. Like, this person existed in New England in 1950. And that person can see the avatar in that environment moving around.
Wow.
Like, it's crazy awesome.
I'm going to cut in and say.
We didn't get that present.
You have the link. You have the link in your email.
But I want to come in and just mention that the examples we list are less than 10% of the variety of project-based learning modes that they offer students.
Yep.
It's a pittance.
Yeah, it's a pittance, yeah. So again, it's inquiry-based, right? So the facts are there, the substance is there, but they're really challenging the students in how are you thinking about it, okay? So that's something that Colorado's really big at, and that's going to be key going into the future, right? What do we do with all this information? So collaborative learning, they don't like it, but they're going to be forced to work together. So sorry, kids. Yeah,
They have to talk to each other.
They have to talk to each other. They have to work together. They have to look at each other. And then I kind of led with the bottom one, but like literally immersive, character-driven perspective taking. So we were super excited. Yeah.
Going back to the technological considerations, how much did we want to make Merrill's life hard? And we decided at the end of the day that we didn't want to make it that hard at all. And Savas is great for that because let me start it like this. Savas has a content and assessment manager. It's what hosts all of the content that students access, the assessments. It's where everything is hosted, the materials, the resources, the media that students can access. And normally that would be just one more thing that students have to learn how to use. We would have to program it so it can open on Chromebooks. We would have to help parents familiarize themselves with it. We don't have to do those things because Savas built their curriculum and all of its online content, which comes with the package, part of the bundle. They built it in so that it seamlessly syncs with Google Classroom and Infinite Campus. We can upload rosters. We can get grades from the manager straight into Infinite Campus or Google Classroom or both. Parents who are used to checking their kids' Google Classroom, they can still check their kids' Google Classroom because everything in the manager is showing up there. And teachers can easily port grades and make adjustments and edit, and it's just beautiful. I listed there a few examples of the other digital tools that students and teachers enjoy. There's an electronic version of the textbook, which is great if COVID comes back, and Blackline Masters. And as far as integration goes, I think we've covered that point.
Yes.
I'm going to miss you, Liam.
I know. We can come back.
Yeah.
So we did take a serious look.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, Dan's all about pursuing happiness. Thanks, Dan. We looked seriously at curricula from 5 other publishers on this side of the street. So just to reiterate, the other options, they were all published before 2018. Okay, so they definitely, not only because of the 2018 thing, but just they didn't integrate technology in a way that today's kids accept it, and even us teachers do. It wasn't there. most definitely in line with the standards. They lack the critical thinking and project-based integration. It was something that we as teachers would have to supplement. And BM and I were talking as we were making this presentation, and with the curriculum that we've had now, we probably take like 20% of it, and then we have to come up with the rest of it on our own. With this, we would say probably 80 to 90% of it is there.
Don't forget that after we make that 80%, we also have to then physically, by hand, port that to anything digital.
Right.
By hand, which can take hours.
Manually,
This
rather than this.
eliminates that.
So it's like, so yeah, it's not there. And then, again, they lack the perspective taking and primary source integration. If I want a primary source, meaning like you actually look at the Constitution, I have to get that because the textbooks and the curriculum we have now, it's hidden, or it's not there at all, or it's like one line. Yeah, so like this they integrated.
Yep.
All right, so in conclusion, just what you saw before, right? Current is CDE's dream, it's fully integrated and engaging, and it's a teacher's dream. So in light of that, these are our recommendations. I'll let Liam.
Yeah, I can break it down.
Liam, go for the middle school.
So what I'm highly recommending, I would call these required if you accept our recommendation, is the My World Interactive American History curriculum that is Sabbath, that is published in 2019, as well as the My World Interactive World History curriculum, same publisher, same year. American history covers 8th grade core social studies, and world history between, it covers both 6th and 7th. 6th grade, again, is Western Hemisphere history, geography, and all that. 7th is Eastern Hemisphere. So world history covers both. I would recommend looking at, based on budgeting and the sort, looking at the My World Interactive World Geography. I think that this curriculum could be a valuable supplement. It can elevate how we meet the second standard, but I don't think it's an essential choice if we are, short on money or if we just deem it unnecessary.
Cool.
So wait a minute. So the books that she was just holding up.
I'm bringing them around.
Yes.
Yeah, Chris has these very books, so she can bring them.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
But what my question is this book for 2 years then? By doing the Eastern and the Western, you mean?
I can reiterate that. 6th grade, Colorado standards for 6th grade, focus on teaching the history, geography, civics, economics, etc. of the Western Hemisphere, so North and South America. That typically covers the ancient pre-Columbian histories of the continents. It covers the modern geopolitical state, things like that. The 7th grade learns the exact same content, but for the Eastern Hemisphere instead,
Right.
so Afro-Eurasia. This textbook covers the whole world. So we would have the Eastern and Western Hemisphere accounted for. You could just pick and choose the topics based on which class you're teaching. It's also possible, however, if we opted for the World Geography book, to put much more emphasis on geography in 6th grade and much more emphasis on history in 7th grade. And in that way, you could dedicate one book apiece to each grade. But it's feasible to teach both grades out of this one textbook because it covers between 6th and 7th. They're all covered in that book.
But this is a consumable, so it has to be replaced.
Yes, but what typically happens is you buy 5 years. You as many years as you want. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years of consumables that'll be written into the quote when they quote for us. So we would let them know. We're trying to get into a curriculum rotation, which would mean every 4 or 5 years we would be looking at a new curriculum anyway. So we could buy 4 years of consumables, and that's all in the one quote, so you don't have to pay any more after that unless you need additional copies. So that would all come with the quote. If it's approved that this is what we want to buy, that would be our next steps. I have other books if you guys would want. Here are the
secretaries, yeah.
The high school.
And I'll just, it's high school, sorry. So I'll just quickly go over the high school. So everything on the right column is required to graduate. 3.5 credits worth of social studies at the high school level. U.S. history, world history are 1 credit each, and the bottom 3 are 0.5 credits each, right? So they're all requirements for every student. And so, yeah, so U.S. history is here, 2022. American government is also 2022. My kids pointed out today that a resource I used from the current textbook said that Nelson Mandela is still alive. No joke. They have his birthday in 1918 and a no death thing, because that's how old it is. Nelson Mandela died in 2013. So that's just an example. So I was like, good job, sophomores, you got that. And then the reason that the bottom two are more optional if we come into a financial crisis or crunch or something like that is we do have an economics textbook that downstairs or upstairs in our little room, an economics textbook from 2018. Now, economics and personal finance aren't the same thing. But if you go to personal finance in particular, that textbook that we have right now is 2012. Okay?
Oh.
So those, yeah, so lots changed in those years as well. So the personal financial literacy, it could be, and then human geography, that one, we have a textbook from 2018. So it's not, that one's not dying, but those ones, that's why I put those two on. Any questions for any of us?
I have one. Like, well, let's say in 2024 some big event happens, are they gonna like update information like what you get online and stuff? Because I bet they do. Correct?
The digital materials,
Yeah,
I
the
expect that they would.
I would think so too.
Yes.
Okay.
It sounded kind of ominous the way you said that.
Yeah, do you know something? Yeah. Well,
What's going on, man?
But that's a question I can certainly ask. When I get the quote, I can ask that question. If something happens, if you have an update, is that an additional cost to us? Do we get those for free? Do they get it for free online? I might have to buy a book. Like, those are questions I can always ask when it's time for us if we would like to get a quote.
So those books don't for a full year?
These are the teacher's
Teacher
versions.
manuals.
Sorry, yeah, these are the teacher manuals.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So yeah, sorry, I should have mentioned that. The kids are even bigger. No, so yeah.
Weightlifting.
It's cut down. Yeah, it's cut down. Yeah.
But they are big and heavy.
They are big and heavy. Yeah.
Is that your last one?
That's
Okay,
fine.
so we just wanted to, what we would like is your permission to move forward. If, whatever that looks like for how you guys do your business, but this is the recommendation from our committee that this is what we would like to purchase. As soon as we get the okay from you, then I can get a quote. I can get you guys that quote, and as soon as we can get that done, I can get it ordered. So last year we ran into where we ordered in June, and we didn't get until 2 weeks after school started. So that's why we tried to get a little going a little sooner this year. So if we can order in May, hopefully we'll get them by August, and we'll be ready to go before school starts. Do you guys have any questions for us?
So Liam, are you staying?
No. I tried.
You're not?
I tried. It's not us he would stay for, but this curriculum, maybe.
It's a conditional thing now, Liam.
It
No
really
pressure.
is a draw. I really have, it's like seeing the other side of a red book. Just knowing that, this is something that I could have access to. It would be a massive draw. And I came in, it was COVID. It was fall of 2020, so, you work with what you got.
I know.
But I love it. I am leaving, but it is
So, but you guys
purely
make a great
positive.
team.
I would also like to say, Cody, we're very glad you're here.
Yeah, that's okay.
But yeah, we're very happy you're
You're staying, so it's all good.
Yeah, but again, we certainly appreciate your investment in our students, and again, your enthusiasm for your subject area. I presume you're going to go still stay in the teaching.
For as long as I can, I'm going to keep this going.
And it's interesting to me in my whole career that the social studies curriculum at this point in time in the United States history is probably the most controversial curriculum. And we've seen it right here in our own county.
I live in Woodward, yes.
Yeah, and so again, what do you see is the future?
What do I see?
Yes.
That's a great question. The way that I think about teaching history is like, I'm not a parent, so this is kind of shallow and superficial, and I apologize, but because I can't speak from experience, but I think of teaching history and the way that we treat our country when we teach history, the way that a parent treats a child. If you imagine, a parent who, they say that they love their child, they say that their child's the best, and they say all those great things, and the child, a kid has faults. They ignore the faults because it's easier for them. This is a bad parent, we'd say, they ignore the faults because that's easier for them. It's easier to express their love if they're only focusing on the positives. But on the other side, you have the parent who embraces the faults and says, I love you in spite of this, and I'm going to help you grow by showing you by teaching you how to grow from these and to become better. And it's love, but it's different expressions. And so I've always tried to inspire the second kind, and I hope that I can continue to do that. And I think this is good at that. So.
Good. You answered that question well.
You did. He answers every question well. But thank you for your time. If you have any questions, please feel free to shoot me emails or questions. Peruse the online pieces that we sent to you for the other curriculums if you want. I did ask if they would be writing new curriculum, some of the other companies that have the older pieces, and they, at this moment, don't have anything that they are working on, and I feel that's probably because a lot of states are updating their social studies standards. That would be my guess. And so because of that, none of them at this time have anything coming down the pike. So if, this is the newest, nobody else seems to be making them. That doesn't mean that next year they don't hurry up and do one, but this feels like a good.
There's so much drama around that whole topic.
Yeah, a lot of them are staying away from it, but.
Well, then, I appreciate all three of your presentation, and, you guys did a wonderful job on that. Thank you very much for that. And I was at one of the DAC meetings, an open DAC meeting, and there were several parents here with that same thought. And that's why they were here, is to thumb through and find the things that they thought were going to be promoted from the state. And they were happy with the textbooks. They were happy with Savas in particular.
Good.
And so, as far as I got out of that meeting, I would recommend the Savas myself.
And I like the kind of echoing that, and having not been at the DAC meetings, but having looked at it, that idea that it's inquiry-based, that idea that it's project-based,
Yeah.
content, it's teaching people to think. It's not, it's not falling on this content side of this. It's not doing it.
And just so you know, we will be having another parent meeting where parents also have concern with the new standards and the way some things might be taught. So we're going to have another meeting with open discussion about that. I told them that's not really, that is great to be discussed, but right now, that's not the discussion right now. We're trying to find something to buy, to have. How we teach it can be a discussion that we can come across. If you have a concern of how it might be taught to your child, that's something that we can do. So we will have a meeting probably next week where the parents can come in. I will take notes, and we'll see where that goes. So we're trying to listen to the parents' concerns as well.
One of the other things that came out of that really is when we looked at the options for the elementary school, nothing was as updated.
Oh, yes.
And the topics that are possibly controversial are the ones that are conveniently left out, which leaves many of our parents slightly even more concerned because if you have to supplement it, where are you going to get this material? How is it vetted, that kind of thing. So that's why we're still having these.
Ignore it and it goes away.
Sometimes. So if you guys could let Dan or know what your decision is so that we can move forward and buy. As soon as I know that, that would be great. Or if you don't, then I need to get back to the drawing board and looking for some other things. So if you can let me know what your decision is as soon as possible, that would be great. And we can move forward from there.
So our next agenda item
Okay.
is actually a motion. So if you want to stay for that, so you know our forward thinking. And so this is the approval of new social studies curriculum as presented by Chris Riley and team. So a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the social studies curriculum as presented by Chris Riley and team.
Liam and Cody.
Liam and Cody and the Savas curriculum.
You might want to just state in there this junior, senior high.
Oh, yeah.
So in your notes somewhere.
Then I have a question. There's the one piece that you said, not that I'm visual or anything, but one piece you said, if there's finance for that, that'd be great to have, but it's not mandatory to have.
Right, so what I'll do is I'll get quotes for everything, and then I'll look at the budget that we're given.
Okay.
And that will sort of guide us as to what, we'll get the things that we need for sure, and then we can look at our budget and also what we have available to make those decisions. But in theory, I'd like to have them all, but.
So then I need a second. Okay. Then a roll call, please.
Beals,
Aye.
Brazil,
I if Liam stays.
Conley,
Aye.
Dodger,
Bye.
Schwab.
Aye.
Okay, thank you very much.
Can I
for
tell
your
you a
work.
funny thing that happened?
Yes.
I was taking my notes and I was reading and I thought it said donuts, but it was drought. And then because I was the word flood, but I thought it was food, I'm like,
What's going on?
I don't know. I think I'm ready to go home.
I know.
Thank you. You guys did a great
Thank
job.
you. Thank you very much.
Good luck on your future.
Thank you.
Yes, yes, very much.
I will always be extremely proud and happy for the time I've spent here.
Yes, good.
I love every one of you.
Aw, thank you.
Did I get all the books?
Best of terms.
Yeah, I
I
didn't
hope
have
that I can come back now and then, and, I want to keep supporting the community in any way that I can.
And then I think you should go into a sporting announcing. You've got the voice. Go on to radio.
Boston?
Yeah, that's my backup plan.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
Bye, thank you so much.
You'll be lost.
Good night, everybody.
Okay, so next is approval of the April 2023 payables payroll.
I'll make a motion to approve the April 2023 payables and payroll.
I'll second
I'll
it.
second that.
Okay, roll call, please.
Beals,
Aye.
Brazil,
Aye.
Conley,
Aye.
Dodger,
Aye.
Schwab.
Aye.
Okay, then next is the first reading of the revised policies. And would you read those, Gary Lou?
Okay, so these are revised policies, CBA-CBC, qualifications, powers, and responsibilities of the superintendent. Number 2 is CBDE, or -E, superintendent contract template. And 3 is CCA, organizational charts.
Okay, so may I have a motion, please?
I have a motion to approve the first reading of the revised policies, CBA/CBC, CBD-E, and CCA-organizational charts.
Okay, it's second.
I'll second it.
Roll call.
Beals,
Aye.
Brazil,
Aye.
Conley,
Aye.
Dodger,
Aye.
Schwab.
Aye.
Okay, next is approval of the athletic director / activities director's contract. We have a motion.
Who's motioning?
I need a motion.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the athletic director, activities director contract.
I'll second it.
Okay, roll call.
Fields,
Aye.
Brazil,
Aye.
Conley,
Aye.
Dodrill,
Okay.
okay, Schwab,
Aye.
Okay, next is the UPassy BOCES MOU as reviewed by
No.
district
Oh,
lawyer.
yeah.
Huh?
Okay, you're right. Go ahead.
Okay, so I need a motion to approve that MOU.
any recommendations from
The
Mr.
BOCES.
Stanek?
Well, here's my input. I think we should approve it right now.
So do you wish to
I would like
table
to,
it?
I would like to table it because we have a board meeting tomorrow, and I have some questions because, again, my concern is there are items in there that are not okay, and I want to know what our culpability will be if someone else gets sued, without naming names.
So would you wish
I would
to
like
make
to
a
table it. Make a
motion?
I'll make a motion that we table that decision and that approval until after I have more information tomorrow.
Okay,
I'll second it.
okay, roll call.
Fields,
Aye.
Brazil,
Aye.
Conley,
Aye.
Dodrill,
Aye.
Schwab,
Aye.
Okay. So next,
The approval of the first payment.
yeah, of request of Schneider Electric upgrades construction.
Sure.
this is all under the contract that you previously approved in the previous two grants with DOLA and Cox. They're just getting started on everything now that things are gonna wrap up with school and the students are gonna not be in.
Okay,
So can I just say so moved?
yes. That's the first motion. Do I have a second?
I'll so second it.
Okay, roll call.
Fields,
Aye.
Brazil,
Aye.
Conley,
Aye.
Dodrill,
Aye.
Schwab,
Aye.
Okay, next up is the contract approval for Lexi Little Ones out of Woodland Park.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
Okay, a
And I'll
second.
second it.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
I don't know who moved.
Fields,
Aye.
Brazil,
Aye.
Conley,
Aye.
Dodrill,
Aye.
Schwab,
Aye.
Okay, then next is the update on BOCES.
Okay, reference the previous conversation.
Okay,
And also, we had a kind of verbal conversation with Marcy last year that the expectation we had was that she would appear at one board meeting per quarter in this district, and that has not happened. So that's going to come up, just saying.
okay,
Thank you.
and then moving
Go get 'em,
on.
Donna.
Yeah, update on construction trades building.
Just some work putting in the different alarm systems, but the building is done.
Woo-hoo!
Congratulations.
You know, I didn't ask specifically about
Oh,
alarm hot water heater, but
I was just asking because we were talking about it.
is it broken? No, it's just.
It was a
high
specific one that the
efficiency,
state required, and
Has to drain.
they had to wait for it to get here, and something had to probably come from China.
And it's tiled too.
Oh, sure. Okay, so then, is there something you need us to do individually for the open house on May 11th?
No, I believe that we have everything covered. I really do, just need a general idea of who you've given invitations to, so I know how many people, the sooner the better, so that I can keep culinary arts on the up and up.
Other than that, Annie's working on getting us, I asked her to order the plaque. We might not have the plaque itself for the dedication and to post on the building, but we'll have a fake plaque.
So I've given out 30, and it's my intent to give out another 30.
Okay.
And so I've covered the city of Victor, the city of Cripple Creek. I've covered the courthouse, and I've covered the county commissioners, along with Ross, the administrator.
And I've kept 2.
And I will just ask, that people may, we're a brief, if you want to say something, just.
Not me.
But other than that, it's really just an opportunity to mingle, and it's a ribbon cutting, right?
Yeah.
So I don't have an agenda, okay?
Good. Okay, next then is staff appreciation.
And on board attended events.
Board attended events.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We've got
Board.
Carnival. I don't know how many of you are planning on being at Carnival on Wednesday. Disney.
I'll be there.
I'm just trying to find out. That's what I was talking to Tanya about.
Well, are there any other events between now and
The ribbon cutting?
ribbon cutting, Carnival,
There's Crescent Day.
Crescent Days, graduation?
Yes,
Yes.
Okay.
I think you got it covered.
Okay.
Okay, next, staff appreciation week.
We have not gotten the date for pastries yet.
Dan and Tanya are both doing little special things for the staff in their buildings. Is there anything else that you all would like to do as a gesture?
Well, Connie and I had talked to
Gertrude.
about pastries like we had last year, but I never got a date that they're locked in because there was field day and then there was.
Just bring them in.
Whatever,
I mean,
just
just
any
bring
day.
them in during that week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, because
I was going to say, just day should.
Okay, it's going to be on Connie because I'll be gone.
And then Tammy, you ordered them those little clocks with the picture frame.
Yeah,
Right,
they're
yeah.
just, they're foldable, they can make them a little pencil holder, or they can do a display, or house there, and it just says, thank you.
I think we'll announce the raise that week. Is there anything else you all would like to do?
Last year we did money.
No,
No.
we just did
Not the
food.
staff
We
appreciation.
did breakfast.
Oh, okay.
But
We
you
had
guys
lunch
did lunch
instead, so-
last week, so we're kind of.
So the 10th is I was going to bring for the Crescent, and then the 11th would be high school, junior high school.
Okay. Yeah, just go for it.
Okay.
They'll get eaten, they'll be happy.
They're not all coming at the same day.
Just need to be sure and let the bakery know.
Yeah, Gertrude, yeah, we kind of had those days to begin, but we'll make sure,
Yeah,
because that's kind of what happened last
and then
year.
we had the brainstorm about lunch instead, so.
Okay, any other concerns?
Nope.
Okay,
I want to go home.
then I
wanted
need
to know
adjournment.
We have a killer barbecue team for Crescent Day this year.
Good.
It's like the dream team.
I make a motion to adjourn. Do we have to?
Okay, roll call.
Second that.
Aye.
Is it all eyes?
Yes, because
Aye. Aye.
Okay, there we go, we're done.
This is much later than usual. What is it? 8:10. But that's all right.